Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, we're taking a good look at XRP and its price action because when I just started to check it out, it really looks like a bullish pennant is going on here, which is described by a flagpole and support and resistance forming a symmetrical triangle. But all about that and more coming up here, but make sure you press the like button, are subscribed, and comment something down below because, guys, we are giving away 100 XRP the first time that we hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours. So, again, just make sure you quickly subscribe, comment something down below to enter, and press the like button. Having said that, yes, I just started analyzing XRP, and I think it's pretty apparent and pretty obvious that this pattern is going on here. And historically, what this means, actually, is in layman's terms the best way to say it? I don't even know. This just means there's first of all a pull and people are buying into it, and after that, prices start to just how would you say converge. And after that, we most likely are going to break out on the top side. And if you see this breakout to the top side, if and only if, we can long and actually get ourselves a good little trade going. If we don't, if prices again stop or keep going this side, we won't take the trade. All right, and that's also the fun part about this one. We're gonna wait for a big breakout on the upside, and if we see that, it's going to be pretty simple to enter, for example, a long position here. Let me quickly see how I can do that. For example, along like this with a stop like right there, for example. Let me put it a little bit higher. For example, something like this. I don't know the perfect ratio just quite yet, but I think stop maybe somewhere around this area would be fine. And depending on how things break out, we could take the trade there and possibly get it all the way up, some crazier percentages, some crazy stuff. So yeah, I've just been thinking about all of this for a little second. This should be a little bit smaller, or the profit should be bigger. Otherwise, it's not a good ratio. I think we should go for about a 3.0. Right around this area could be fine. Right like that. 18% profit and a 6% drawdown. Still very big, by the way. 6% to lose is a lot of money, but it's just to give you guys some idea, all right? This is not a perfect thing. This is not meant as financial advice nor trading advice. I'm just thinking with you guys here about what could possibly happen. And the reason I came up with this here and thought about it was we, a little bit earlier today, talked on Twitter about prices going down. Let me quickly see if I have it open here. My friend messaged me, we're going to correct right now. What are you guys thinking? And this was at 2 a.m. My time. So let's quickly check that here. This is 2 a.m. their time. Somewhere in the middle of this is 2 a.m. my time. We can also just quickly switch it over to see it perfectly. Let's go for Amsterdam. Okay, so 2 a.m. my time can't be shown in here. Let's go for the 1 hour chart. Okay, so 2 a.m. is right here. And my friend messaged me, hey, we're going to be correcting, so I shared that on Twitter. And just a second afterwards, we fell down on maximum, let's see, about 10% or so, right? And that was just before I went to bed in nighttime. And it got me thinking, right? If we fall back down and we keep correcting so heavily as we've done here, when we fell down from 95 cents, we went down about 40%. We keep correcting, but it keeps getting kind of weaker, right? And some guys have said, yeah, volume is deteriorating, volume is this, that. It could be that the momentum is deteriorating. It could also be right now XRP is not making as strong of moves. As you can clearly see, it's converging. It's in a symmetrical triangle, and it has to break out before we're going to see something very, very interesting come up here. So yeah, we're waiting for that, and hopefully it's going to be a breakout to the upside, and we can get ourselves a huge and nice little trade. I also just published this thing on TradingView. It's my first thing I've ever done. I think it's pretty cool, though. I mean, I bought the Pro Plus, right? So I might as well make use of it now by sharing my stuff here and looking like a cool guy. The name on here is The Business Realm, and the logo is mine. It's my first idea, and we already got 4 likes. Damn. Damn. So that's pretty cool. That's my first thing, though. So, nice. Then, I've been checking other ideas out, and apparently Magic Poop Cannon is always the top analyst, and I really don't know if it's satirical or really real. I don't know. Because you can see at the bottom here, people have unsubscribed, which is interesting. And he knows nothing but misleads traders. It's it's a way to see things. I mean, I think it's to a certain degree just really satirical and just for fun. On a different end, it could also be that he just has bigger goals for XRP, since he's talked about these crazier prices way more often. And to a certain degree, people really love that, and to a certain degree, people really hate that, because if you're gonna shout, we're gonna get 10,000% returns, and we only get 5,000. No, that's way too much. And we only get 300%. Yeah, people are really not gonna like you because you claimed something way better than what we actually saw. On a different end, it is also, if you claim things like this and they don't come to fruition for years, people are not going to doubt your legitimacy. But another one is he's also done analysis on the shorter term for some lower prices. And I mean, a lot of people didn't believe me when I said we're going to hit 90 cents for XRP. And we did pretty much a couple of days after I said it. So yeah, I can understand why people are sometimes doubtful when people claim things. Let's quickly check out a little bit about what else he has said about XRP. If we can do that here. If there's an easy way, I don't know about it, so sorry for that. Let me just scroll down here. XRP may be completing transition into new bull cycle. Okay, that's just, I guess, a rational, normal thing. Bitcoin reached 80 to 90,000. That's also not that bad. Outlook for XRP. That's also not a really heavy one, at least the way it looks like it. So yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, he doesn't really have that many crazy things. Right? He just has one really crazy prediction every once in a while. Because this is all May of 2006. Oh, May of this year. Interesting, guys. Interesting, if you ask me. Very interesting. He's just very positive about XRP. Or I've missed out because his charts actually do not show what he says in the name here. I would have expected a big line. But if I missed one, you guys still get the picture though, right? He's okay. Let's see this one still, I guess. Gold, bullish as frick. He made a target at 2,200 for gold. I don't think gold came anywhere close. I think its all-time high was at 240 or something like that. So that was kind of wrong. But maybe it's still to come. I mean, he put July 2021 there, so maybe it's still to come. I don't even know. However, let's take a look at the $440 price prediction that he's put in. Here is the technical case for XRP, or how XRP could possibly rise to 440. Now, before we get into anything, I know there were people who comment how that would make XRP worth trillions because it's around around $20 trillion, and that such a feat is impossible for crypto like XRP. I just want to end that argument really quickly by reminding everyone that the global money supply is constantly expanding. A $20 trillion XRP market cap would be hard to imagine with the current global monetary supply, but the global monetary supply already appears to be entering a period of accelerated expansion. Continuous printing and runaway inflation could have easily made this a possibility, and with the looming global debt crisis around the world, nothing is beyond the realm of reason. So, up to this point, he's got my attention because I see that as the truth. As you can see in 2015, okay, this is 2015. XRP had an extended bear market that was shrinkingly similar to the one we've seen since 2018. Okay, yeah, I can see some resemblance. The current market formed a similar base, green rectangle, as well as falling overhead resistance, blue trend lines, and when XRP broke out of that falling blue trend line in 2017, that was the actual sign that the new bull market had begun. Looking at today's price action, we can see that the similarity is undeniable. Prices exploded above the falling blue trend line, just as it did in 2017, which shows that there is an extremely high probability that we are entering a massive new bull market. Now, if we look back since the initial breakout of 2017, we can see that the first resistance level was at the 2.618 fib retracement or extension level. Retracement. Wait, what is he saying now? Let's quickly go back. If we look back at the initial breakout here, so that is this huge surge, we can see the first resistance was at the 0.236. Okay, so I'm assuming he meant in here, but it's kind of hard to see that it resisted right there. Afterwards, the resistance is still light though, so definitely. Currently, the 2.618 retrace is above $9. if we were to take the move from here. Oh no, he's meaning this one. I'm actually seeing now. 2.618 resistance. It's kind of difficult to see exactly what he's meaning with his moves. But I think everything is still... No, I think I still get everything, what he's trying to say. He just put in just a small amount of layers, which is very confusing for me at least. So the 261 would be at about $9 right now if we were to repeat the same move that happened right in this area. So if XRP is going to perform similarly, we would need to see a massive rally towards $9 in the near future. And from there, we saw XRP eventually rise to the 16, which is very high, and then to the 128, which is kind of unimaginably high. Which is interesting to me because 128 is a multiple of 16. Anyway, XRP performs similarly. It would then rise to the $55 level, the 16 retracement, and eventually $440, the 128 retracement. Accumulation levels not shown have already broken out to new all-time highs, just as they did after XRP broke out above the overhead resistance in 2017, adding to the undeniable similarities between now and 2017. So there isn't really any technical reason to believe that XRP will perform worse than it did in 2017 in terms of percentages. You may not think XRP can reach 440, but you would probably also don't think a loaf of bread could cost $100 or $1,000 or more. Here's another small point right there. Because eventually in the future, a loaf of bread would theoretically speaking cost $100. It will happen. But since that would take so many years, let's say things double every 30 years or so in price, or maybe 20. Even if it doubles right now, let's say bread costs $2 right now. It's going to double in 20 years. It's $4. It's going to double again in 20 years. We're 40 years away, and bread is only at $8 now. We're 60 years away. Bread is at 16. We're 80 years away, and bread is at $32. If you guys get me. So we're not going to be alive once all of that happens, most likely. Then, so it's an okay comparison to say you probably can't imagine or fathom something that will ultimately still happen or is a high probability of happening. But those things take such a long time, so I don't know. The cumulative purchasing power of fiat currencies around the world is in a perpetual decline, and with the debt crisis on the verge of global financial destruction, the simple loss of interest rate control could cause worldwide hyperinflation. 440 XRP is most certainly feasible. I'm the master of the charts, the professor, the legend, the king, and I go by the name of Magic. Au revoir. Interesting. Educational purposes, huh? I thought it would be entertainment purposes. So no, I don't think this is actually a likely scenario to occur. I don't know how I'm going to have to title this one, because a lot of you guys are going to say, unsubscribe, you're dumb for saying 440 is possible. I always get that type of stuff, even though I'm just trying to objectively look at it like you guys would look at it, and then give my thoughts about the situation. But I think 440, following his analysis, I mean, if we get the same percentages like we saw back then yeah, it does make a little bit of sense. We went from these very low prices of 0.004, so that's, 0.4 cents per XRP to about $4. So from that perspective, the rises and the gains are immeasurable. They are measurable, obviously, but really crazy to understand. And if we see that same move happening, the same relative moves, yeah, we could theoretically speaking get there. Again, this is all relative, by the way. This is not the same percentage, I think, even, or is it? I don't know about that. I just know it's relative because you can see the price chart moves quite differently as you can see. Here is just a very, very small difference, these small cents, and here it is $100 per millimeter, as you guys can see. But in general here, the similarities lie, but $440 per XRP would change our world so drastically. I don't think we're going to see that happen anytime soon, if ever. So don't count on it, but it's fun to sometimes think about that type of stuff if you want to kind of mess with your head a little bit. Then XRP does 370% in months new update. This is stuff that is more rational, that makes more sense, and that is nicer to see because you can kind of relate to this type of stuff. XRP to USD here, XRP to BTC here. Bought at 15 cents in March. Huge volume. And let's see actually how it played out today. Oh, this is a weekly chart, okay. So he has already put here a resistance at about 77 or so cents since we saw that back in September of 2018. And we're also seeing this XRP to BTC resistance here come back all the way from June 2019 and August or September 2018. As you can see on the left here, look at this part, right? You can see it's actually pretty coincidental that it's exactly the same area, which is kind of keeping us back right now, which is very, very important. So that September to October of 2018 is really holding us back, and we're watching very, very closely because that support has now turned into a resistance. Here he said, XRP has made a massive growth in the past few weeks or week. The last two updates I mentioned to you, 15 cents was a great buy for investment. Many signs were indicating the bottom for XRP was in. We got a huge volume at around critical support at 15 cents, and the crypto market was overall bullish. Evidently, many retail traders who have been holding XRP have sold right at the bottom. Have you guys actually sold at the bottom? I'm kind of wondering about that, because on my channel, most of the guys have actually been buying in quite heavily since, I don't know, the longest time, and I've made a ton of videos throughout the road here explaining why I'm buying more. And hopefully everybody is in profit right now with their XRP holdings. I really, really hope so. But if you time 15 cents, you're kind of a genius and a god. I would definitely give you some respect if you bought at 15 cents, you know, the most of your money, because that's a hard thing to time, all right? They might say it's pretty simple to do or something like that, but no, it is not. It is very, very hard to buy at the bottom, especially if things are looking so dire as they did back here. So if you did, congratulations to you. And I guess you're sitting on those benches right now of profit. I don't know what else to say. But kind of the reason I wanted to make this video actually was not to brag on some people with good entries or something like that, or to show you even 440 per XRP. It was actually to show you guys a cool little contrast. And that contrast comes in Dutch media, because as you guys know, that's where most of this stuff that I see comes from, the Dutch media. And one of the cool things I noticed there is that XRP never gets mentioned. That's one thing. But also retail hype surrounding Bitcoin is so little. Actually, it's like 1% of what we saw back in 2017-18. And that brought me to the point that there is so much more that's going to be happening to these prices here, guys. There's so much more attention that is going to be brought to them. But most likely we're going to start seeing that all from all-time high forward. You know, that this is just the start of some build-up, and all-time high is going to determine a lot of the newcomers in retail, I guess, that are going to be hopping on in. And right now, it's really not that apparent that news media outlets are trying to cover it too much. And I think a huge part of that is they also don't know what's going on right now, what is pushing it, and they're pushing it all on PayPal. But with these altcoins right now, it's so crazy, right? And maybe these guys had some backlash in 2017 about covering it all the time, like 2 articles every single day. Maybe they don't want to do that anymore. Or right now, because people have already seen it, they count this as a normal move. And from all-time high on forward, we are seeing unprecedented territory, and that's something they really want to cover. But on XRP's perspective, it's still, by the way, growing like the hardest out of the whole top 10. Only XLM is doing better. By the way, that one is at 21 cents, which is also pretty damn crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit more in my next video that is going to be coming up here. But I think they've not mentioned any of these altcoins except for Ethereum, mostly because they don't know just quite yet and they're not too sure. But maybe the security issue is also underlying. You know, that XRP is not a security yet. Other way around, XRP is not declared a non-security yet, and people are kind of afraid of that maybe, or they just don't want to recommend it on their websites. I don't really know, but it's definitely not getting, I just pressed Siri by accident, is not getting mainstream attention by far just quite yet, and that's also what's adding me, or pushing me towards predictions like this, which make them more feasible. That, as I said before, it is not very out there just quite yet. We're just at the start, and even though we've been going on for years now, guys, it's the same with a lot of these very, very huge tech companies and these bigger industry leaders now. A lot of them were very, very small relatively for a long time, until at one point they just made some breakthrough in technology or some breakthrough in investment that they got, and now they could really start to grow heavily. But a lot of them were very, very small for a long time, and let's say XRP's longevity is 60 years. Right now we're in the first 7 or so, right? Are you guys getting that? If Amazon right now, let's say it's in at year, let's just for example say year 30, right? maybe the first 10 years was very, very low. In the last 20 years, it has gone exponential. And the same for things like Google, Facebook, Amazon. Just grab them for yourself. Maybe like something like Facebook is a little bit differently, as, I mean, that one grew quite exponentially from the start. But you guys get the picture, right? A lot of these huge industry leaders, they take a lot of time to develop here. And as long as news hasn't really just exhausted themselves with covering XRP and still nothing happens, you know, I'm your guy. Things are looking pretty damn nice. But yeah, make sure you press the like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in another one.